been 1 week full of political activity, and the People's Democratic Party has been holding its ward congresses across the country through the last 2 weeks. And that exercise has been trailed by lots of drama and a very good dose of unpleasantness. We'll be revisiting the ward congress violence in Delta State, South Nigeria, which took place on March the 3rd, where the former Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Honorable Martin Okonta, Mr. Cairo Ojugbo and Senator Ifeanyi Okowa suffered varying degrees of injury. And in Edo State, the incumbent Governor Adams Oshiomhole has officially picked his nomination form and to contest the governorship election. And of course to Bayelsa State, where the women are demanding that a female representative be elected to represent Ekeremo Sagbama federal constituency in the House of Representatives to replace Henry Seriake Dixon, who is now the state governor. We'll also be beaming our searchlight on the abolition of the plea bargain from the nation's judicial system by the Chief Justice of Nigeria. Welcome to Politics Today on Channels Television, reaching you live from our studios in Lagos, and I'm Charles Eruka. We'll begin in Delta State, where the People's Democratic Party Ward Congress 2 Saturdays ago was marred by violence. Key players in Delta State politics participated in this debacle, and a handful of them were injured in the process. In fact, former Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Honorable Martin Okonta, had to be hospitalized. Now let's take another look at that event, and we'll be right back. The PDP Ward Congress in Delta State has come and gone, but not without scars.
133, 134, 135.
In Ika South, the exercise was marred by violence, resulting in the hospitalization of the former Speaker of the State House of Assembly, who is presently representing Ika South constituency, Honorable Martin Okonta. On his hospital bed, Mr. Okonta alleged that a former member of the House of Representatives and Special Advisor to the President on National Assembly matters, Cairo Ojugbo, masterminded the attack.
Cairo Ojugbo, former Special Advisor to the President on National Assembly matters, now gave his PA that the PA should be the returning officer. So when they announced the PA as return, I protested that the man's PA cannot be our returning officer. He now went and brought a club and clubbed me down. I slumped and I was lying lifeless before I was rushed to this hospital.
Mr. Ojugbo confirmed the attack but denied his involvement. He instead pointed fingers at Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, representing Delta North Senatorial District, as the mastermind of the confusion that marred the ward congresses in Ika South.
When the fight started and everything started, I wasn't there. I had already left. I wanted NTA to leave. NTA said I was nowhere to be found. If I was there during the fight, wouldn't they have filmed me? Wouldn't they have been captured on tape?
Party leaders also lent their voices in reaction to the wave of violence.
I cannot imagine somebody like Ojugbo caliber coming to the secretariat to attack our honorable member representing us because of ordinary ward congress. We are very, very disappointed. We are sad.
The returning officer for Ika South at the PDP ward congresses, Mr. Orichegbubami Nana, claimed that the mob action was actually inspired by Honorable Martin Okonta, who deprived him entry into the state PDP secretariat.
As I was going in, this man called Honorable Martin Okonta, so they said, rushed in and said, "No, he cannot go, he cannot go, he cannot go. It's my candidate, it's my nominee that will go. I am an honorable member of the House of Assembly. They must respect me, they must give me my nominee." And the party chairman said, "It is not done like that." And I said, "Is that what is done here?" As I mentioned that word, the next thing I heard or I felt was a blow on my face.
While the situation in Ika South was that of violence, other areas were said to be peaceful. After the exercise, the state governor, Emmanuel Odouan, said the Congress is a display of the people's determination to elect officials with integrity.
The party at the grassroots must determine who leads the party at that level, and so it will also go upward. And every party member belongs to a ward. That is why we said in Delta State, you must go back to your ward and determine who leads the party at that level.
This violence will definitely not be the end, considering the win by all means attitude of politicians. But how this plays out eventually will definitely be a subject of political discourse in the coming days. Well, indeed, the scenario is still playing out, and today we have some of the principal actors in that particular piece of unpleasantness in the Delta State PDP ward congresses. Well, this is my pleasure today to welcome to the program. Well, he is looking a lot better now. The bandages are gone, and to my immediate right is the former Speaker of the Delta State House of Assembly, Honorable Martin Okonta. And, well, unfortunately, we do not have Senator Okowa with us today, but he has sent his representative, Mr. Isioma Okonta.
Pleasure being here.
Well, is it a coincidence that we have two Okontas?
Exactly.
One is dark, one is fair. Are you by any means related?
No, we are not brothers at all.
Okay, now that is settled. So, gentlemen, it's a very, very sensitive matter here. But, well, let's just replay the incident or the sequence of events there. Honorable Okonta in his hospital bed pointed fingers at Mr. Cairo Ojubo for being responsible for the attack against him. On the other hand, Dr. Ojubo said, no, I didn't do it. It was Senator Ifeanyi Okowa who was responsible. And so the pointing of fingers went round. I'm sure Senator Okowa himself pointed fingers back at Honorable Okonta. So I think today we'll be making a clean breast of the whole situation. But, well, that was what happened. You sustained injuries, and the others too sustained varying degrees of injuries, whether physical or emotional. Now, I'd like to ask you, Senator Okonta, did you
Honorable Okonta.
Right, Honorable Okonta. Did you indeed see Mr. Ojubo giving instructions to his people to attack you?
Let me make this issue very clear. I am about 50 years old today, and I have 4 children. At my age, at 50, I cannot identify the man who struck me with an iron at the back. Ojubo, I knew very well, in and out, how he has been terrorizing a cast out, how he has arrested people and locked them up in Abuja. Go and ask for Chief Imudia. Ask him what happened. 10 years ago in a cast out, Charles Nwogbogo was killed in the same similar congress by this lunatic.
Now, these are mere allegations for now, but Mr. Honorable Okonta, I think you should calm down, okay? I think you should calm down.
Obviously speaking, what I'm trying to explain to you, what Congress is just a minute election, very infinitesimal. It's done at the root level. We wanted a returning officer to come to the party secretariat and conduct the Congress. While we are there, we know his usual habit of collecting returning officer and write a result in his house and submit later. So it was decided that we should go to the secretariat and follow the returning officer back to our constituency. He hid in one of the offices. Okowa was never in any way in that premises, to be honest with you. If you look at those who were there, the panel from Abuja were live witnesses. I can't imagine a man of this nature lying in presence of men from Abuja who came to conduct the Congress, who were physically present, and they started running heter-scatter. Cairo, you have killed somebody. This is not what we asked for. He was hiding in the office. Do you know it required a team of 3 healers of police to rescue him? And he was lying in a healers. And he was smuggled out of the place.
It would have been very convenient, you know, if Dr. Ojubo had been here to defend himself.
He can't come here. He's not competent to speak.
He did
Does
say,
he have the dexterity? Does he have the competence?
He did say that he has actually filed a suit in court against Senator Okowa for impugning his person and reputation as a medical doctor, a politician, a businessman, and a role model. Well, Mr. Isioma Okonta, you are representing Senator Ifeanyi Okowa. Your client, or your principal, was actually accused of masterminding the incident at the Delta State Ward Congresses, particularly in Ika South local government. What's your response to that?
Thank you very much. In my capacity as the Director of Administration and Secretariat of the Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa's constituency office, I wouldn't lend credence to what I call vituperations and unguarded utterances of a frustrated politician. I think one has to go back to the years to know who Dr. Cairo is,
Go to Ikasa.
and to know who Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa is. Because God created us with the ability to make choices. And the choices you make today affect your life in the future. Dr. Cairo had a chance to turn things around for the local government in Ika South. He had his opportunity and he blew it. And today the local government is enjoying the leadership of the Right Honorable Barrister Martin Okonta and that of the Queen Mother, Queen Victoria Ikechukwu. And the local government is moving very much forward. Let me tell you something. Senator Dr. Okowa that I know is God-fearing, is a devout Christian, and is deeply, I mean deeply compassionate. He wouldn't be involved in such a violent act.
Yeah, but indeed, I mean, when it comes to politics,
Yes.
especially issues of interest,
Yes.
political interest, it is it's a well-known fact that I mean, sometimes it becomes a contaminating factor. Wouldn't you say that probably Senator Okowa was the unseen hand behind the violence?
The governor that we have in Delta State, there was a meeting had in Warri not too long ago concerning the congresses. And he charged everybody to go back to your local government areas and be particular about your ward. Senator Dr. Okowa is my boss. I'm the director of his constituency office. I know that he has a track record of peace. He has a track record of being compassionate. I know that he rose through the ranks to become what he is today. He was a former secretary to the local government. He was a former council chairman of Ika Northeast. He was a civil commissioner in Delta State in various capacities.
Now,
At one time, please hear me out.
Okay.
At one time, he was a commissioner for agriculture and natural resources. He was a commissioner for water resources development. He was a commissioner for health. And he did exceedingly well. He's not a violent man.
At all.
He's not going to be stretching into another local government area. He's concentrating on his local government. When you call back into Delta State, find out what happened throughout the ward congresses and the local government area congresses. Ika Northeast that Dr. Okowa comes from, they had harmonization. The leaders met together. They conducted their congresses. It was peaceful. Dr. Cairo is from Ika South. If he has the capacity, why can't he be able to come together with the leaders of the local government and have a peaceful Congress? On the day in question, Saturday the 3rd of March, Dr. Okowa was not at the PDP secretariat at Asaba.
Okay, now if you had watched that the report, when Dr.
Cairo.
When Senator Okowa was when they put the question to him as to who was responsible, that was when he was responding to Dr. Ojukbo's allegations. He placed the blame firmly on the doorstep of Honorable Okonta. I hope. I mean, I believe you're paying attention. That's why I said it was like a round-robin finger pointing from Honorable Martin Okonta to Dr. Cairo Ojugbo, from Dr. Ojugbo to Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, and from Senator Okowa back to
not on the clip that we watched.
Not on the clip we watched.
Not on the clip
I
that
didn't
we
watch
watched.
Senator Okowa make any uncomplimentary remark against me because he was not there.
Okay.
But what I have told you, simpliciter, the man Cairo was hiding in an administrative office, the administrator of the party. He came in and put in the name of Patrick Nana as returning officer.
Okay.
And Patrick Nana is a staff of the SOPADEC. He's currently a staff of the SOPADEC in Warri, and he has been abandoning his job.
In what way does that rule him out?
Huh?
In what way does that rule him out from conducting the affairs of the party in that capacity?
You mean a civil servant who is employed in the public service?
He is more likely to be neutral than someone who has a political interest.
You don't know what the provisions of the law say. If you are a civil servant,
you are not supposed to participate in a process like that.
I said he's a staff of the SOPADEC. But because he has been on the payroll of Dr. Cairo for years, I know him too well. And again, the secretary to the party said, we are announcing the presiding returning officers. And so, Patrick Nana for a CASAT. I said, no. That is PA to Cairo Ojugbo. Then the panel from Abuja say, how can he send his PA? No, we won't allow that. You go out. That was what angered Cairo and struck me unsuspectingly.
Okay, so what did you think was his grounds against you? Because it was the officials from Abuja, you said, sent his man out. So what was his grounds against you? What did you think was his grounds against you?
That's what I'm telling you now. As soon as I raised before the panel that this man, Nana Patrick, is Dr. Cairo's PA, he cannot do a fair Congress, that we should look for a neutral person. He now struck me because they now asked him to leave. There was no, even that face, he just put a curtain and what do you call it? A stamp. He just put a plaster on. Nothing happened between us. The only thing I had on me was I was clubbed down with an iron and I was rushed outside. God Almighty, the members of the panel, members of PDP who were present saw what happened. And I can now see how they will look at Dr. Cairo when he's lying over what everybody witnessed live. And he doesn't know that this is a modern jet aid. The BlackBerry took me there, NTA took me there, Sahara Reporter, it was all over the world. And he was hiding. Then the chairman of the party invited police that somebody is lying dead here. The boys are arrested and they have to smuggle Cairo out of the place. And let me tell you how indecent, how disorganized. It's not cultured. He still didn't find time to go and check in the hospital whether I'm still alive or not. He went and published.
Honorable Martin Okonta, I would like to throw this question to both of you, Honorable Martin Okonta and Mr. Isioma Okonta. Now, with these state of affairs, especially that particularly sour episode, don't you think it's an indication of cracks within the People's Democratic Party, at least in the Ika area?
No. That will amount to hasty generalization of issue. There's one individual.
Because the gentlemen involved in this case
are
all leaders of the party.
There's one individual in a car south. Go to a car south in Delta. Ask for Cairo Ojugbo. He has been a terrorist. Let me use that word. He's a terrorist in the local government. Now, I have mentioned one thing. You refuse to answer that question. Somebody lost his life 10 years ago in the same Congress revolving around Cairo. 3 months ago, Chris Ogala, was night chairman, was thrown from upstairs. The same Cairo.
I ignored that because he has not been convicted by a court of law, so we can't be talking about that matter.
Hear me out.
It's merely an allegation. It has not been proven beyond any reasonable doubt.
We're in a press conference here. This is not a court of
no, this is politics today.
Does it mean that if you have a court judgment before you invite people to talk on press?
Absolutely not. But what I'm saying is that it is very improper to make an allegation like that.
Which allegation am I making? The thing that has a lot of material evidence. I say come to a CASAT and see for yourself. This is not the first time he's hacking somebody. Let me tell you what he does. If you are vying for any position in a CASAT and you didn't come through him, he said that he sent the National Union of Road Transport Workers against you, or he sent courtists against you, or he sponsored a case in the court of law against you.
So what you're saying essentially is that your position as the Speaker of the State House of Assembly and membership of the State House of Assembly was facilitated by the same man, because you have just said that if you're vying for any position in the South, you have to go through him.
Let me tell you.
So does it mean you went through him?
No. You are not abreast with issue. Cairo,
that's why I'm putting
Cairo
the question
was not
to you.
There when we were doing election. What he did, he worked for DPP. He didn't work for PDP. He said he's not going to support the government. He worked for another party. That's why he has a lot of problems in the local government. So we, myself as the Speaker and the Commissioner for Women Affairs, the Queen Mother, worked with other leaders to ensure that PDP emerged. The governorship lost in a cast out. We, in the House of Assembly, won. So that infuriated him that without him, do you know what he told people in the cast out? He said, if I ever win my election, he will commit suicide. Dr. Cairo said it. Go to a cast out. Do your investigation.
Let me come in.
He's still alive now. Okay, Mr. Isioma Okonta.
Let me come in quickly. What Dr. Cairo is trying to do now is all subterfuge and using diversionary measures.
Exactly.
He knows
to what purpose?
The focus,
to what purpose?
Because
he was going to be arrested. He ran to court for a man that is in the hospital.
He wants to remove the focus from himself. He is supposed to be the focus right now, because the violence that was perpetrated at the State Secretariat of PDP on the 3rd of March was perpetrated by him. The injury that the Right Honorable suffered was inflicted by him. Dr. Kowa doesn't have anything to do with it. The most distinguished senator, Dr. Kowa, they don't have anything to do with it. To be calling his name is to remove the focus from himself, to throw it somewhere else. He's only trying to cast aspersions on the person of Dr. Kowa because he knows that he is the actual person that committed that crime.
Okay, let me read out to you a text message his lawyer sent us earlier today. It reads, the Honorable Dr. Cairo Ojogbo has approached the Federal High Court to seek redress on the spurious and libelous publication by the Honorable Martin Okonta against his person and reputation as a medical doctor, a politician, businessman, and role model. Now, it is in deference to the Honorable Court that we have advised our client from making any comments likely to prejudice the suit, wherein our client is asking for 5 billion naira as damages. Now, I'll come to you. I'll come to you, Honorable Okonta.
Hold it.
Because you risk paying 5 billion naira as damages.
No. Let me, a simple analysis, a simple logic. You attack somebody. He was rushed to the hospital. And you knew police came to take statement from him. He knew he was going to be arrested. To avail arrest, he ran to court. Even the federal court filed the action in Abuja. The local Cinco where the incidents were committed was in Asaba. Because the police in Asaba was looking for him, we knew how he went to beg a minister to lead him to IG so that they don't arrest him in data. We are aware.
Okay.
So he's using this as a cacophony to avoid being arrested in data.
All right,
that is the essence of this.
Now you've said as much. 5 billion naira as general damages. That's what you might likely pay. But okay. I mean, that's just in a light-hearted mood.
Until the court decides.
Mr. Isioma Okonta, you know, I mean, when calling you, since you have the same surname, I have to call both names in order to differentiate between the two
I do understand.
individuals. Okay, Isioma Okonta, your principal, Senator Okowa, is a very influential member of the People's Democratic Party in Delta State. So is Honorable Martin Okonta, and so is Honorable Cairo Ojogbo. I mean, if you are attributing everything you've attributed to him, it means he does wield some major form of influence in Delta State politics. But what I am asking is
that's the talk.
Is it
which influence?
Well, of course, I mean,
man that would take an oath.
Whatever it is, he does command some influence. And the truth is, at the end of the day, the People's Democratic Party may just be the major loser in this case, if not in the whole of Delta State, at least in Ika South, where the unpleasantness took place. I'm putting the question to Mr. Isioma Okonta. don't you think some other political parties would capitalize on this division, even if it's just the beginning, and create a wider rift to the disadvantage of the People's Democratic Party?
All you have said now was in the past.
Exactly.
Dr. Cairo used to command
Respect.
some authority in the local government. You remember I said the choices you make today affect your life in the future.
Sure.
The choices he made a few years back, choices as to bringing about disunity instead of unity, choices as to bringing about disorderly conduct instead of orderly conduct, choices as to empowering your people. He made the wrong choices. And today, the party is stronger. The problem we are having now is the few persons that they used during the elections to do anti-party.
To work for another party.
To do anti-party. They are trying to kind of throw them down the throat of the PDP faithfuls in the Kasab local government area. When a proper Congress is conducted in the area, when I mean a proper Congress where the people are allowed to exercise their franchise, you will see that him and the few people he's controlling will not see the light of the day. So I do not agree with you when you say the People's Democratic Party
will lose
in Delta State or a cast out will lose.
Remember, it was a question I raised.
Excuse me. The party PDP is even stronger today in a cast out.
Exactly.
What we are saying is let a proper Congress be conducted. And secondly, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, the senator, he has his own local government matters and issues to attend to. He's focusing on his local government during these congresses. And the man is trying to bring in dividends of democracy from the federal level into a Neoma Nation, Delta North Senatorial District. That is what he's pretty much concerned with. And for somebody to be saying, Senator Dr. Okowa, they know him. He's a peaceful man. The man wouldn't even hurt a fly.
But let me make this point. Let me make this point clear. Let me make this point very clear. Senator Ifeanyi Okowa is a role model. If you look at the credential he parades, if you look at the decent manner he presents himself, he doesn't talk loud, and he has never abused any single soul since I knew him. He's not in my local government. And I would like to emulate his character. The man is decent, he's unique, he's articulate, he's vibrant, he's cool-headed. But we have in our local government a thug. The man attacks can you imagine arresting a 60-year-old man to Abuja? He brings that man, Chief Imudia, he arrested another one and took him to Lagos.
I didn't realize that he was a police officer. I mean,
he wasn't a police officer.
If he engages in arrests.
No. What he does is this. He arranged police in 4 CID police, Lagos. He arranged in Abuja. He comes to that local government. That's where he operates.
He's that influential, isn't he?
He's not influential. It's a matter of thuggery. That is thuggery. He will arrest you. They will detain you for 2 days. He will bring. In fact, the crisis in the National Union of Road Transport Workers in the Kasab. He asks a particular group, go and overthrow that group. You know, he thrives in that kind of blackmail.